Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I want to show you how to speedrun Metal Gear Solid 2. It's basically the second part after my glitchless tutorial. Glitchless is already a great step towards any percent. And so what this tutorial aims is basically to give you all the tools you need in order to add more and more parts towards your glitchless run into any percent to get comfortable with doing more advanced things in any percent. And any percent really, you can get like very good times without needing to do all the glitches, right? And so I will go through the game one more time, and this time I'm gonna focus less on individual, for example, boss executions, and more all about the things that are in between. Because like none of these boss fights are actually glitchless. Yeah, there's no glitched boss fight. There's only playing the boss as well. And then on your way towards all of these bosses, that's where really you have a few glitches happening that can save you some time. And I will go through the game. I will give all of these tricks, basically like a rating of where I think like where you want to add basically these glitches, how difficult they are, and which ones make sense to get comfortable with relatively early in the beginning, and which ones you maybe want to worry less about and just add them later until you master the first few ones that are easier to do. And I think that basically calls for a short explanation as well what we're going to do here. I will play the PC Substance version. It's based on the Xbox port. Basically because it's the easiest one for me to show a few things over and over again. And what I want you to understand is that you can do everything that I do here on this old PC version. You can also do this on the Master Collection version, unless they patched it out. I mean, this will be recorded in July. But it definitely will also work on the HD version. And it will also work, of course, on the PS2 Sons of Liberty version and Substance version. There's one trick that's exclusive to Sons of Liberty that I will not show you today. That's the so-called swim skip. But most people will anyway gravitate towards what you can do in the HD version and in the Substance version, which are, at least when it comes to the tricks and the speedrun of this game, like super similar. I'm gonna play here in the 16:9 version, not the 4:3 version. And as I said, everything that I do here, you can also do in HD and Master Collection. So with that being said, as usual, we're going to load a new game plus save file here. And we're going to go through the game. Now I will use turbo here. I will use turbo here to just go quicker through all these codecs and dialogues. Again, this is more for the already advanced people that have been already a little bit more familiar with the glitchless speedrun, or just wanted to add something more towards the any percent speedrun. So yes, I will use turbo. I will show you versions of some tricks with and without turbo. So many things really don't require turbo, but if I use turbo, it's mostly just to skip these codecs and cutscenes quicker. So that's the final word of warning, I think. This is focusing on very easy, a great beginner category to get into, and as I said, any percent. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna show you everything that I know. At least right now, I'm still a top 5 runner in this game and category, so I think I know what I'm doing. And here we go. At the beginning, I want to make sure right at type 1. I'm just gonna hold down these buttons. I'm not gonna go into detail about how turbo works in terms of saving time here with cutscenes and codecs. But just know, if you use the PC Substance version,
Let's look.
The turbo that's provided by VSFix is ideally set up for all 4 face buttons and the start button. For me, for the most part, turbo is just a tool to not needing to tap buttons over and over again. And in the beginning, we're just going to shoot this guard here, like we'll always do, and we're going to enter the store. Just like in glitchless, we're going to go over here, turn over, pause buffer, shoot this guy to get around him, and move up. And the first real glitch that will happen is Prozac Skip. which will save us going through the engine room. But until then, everything's the same compared to glitchless. Really nothing new. So even Olga cannot be glitched. We're just gonna go all the way through. And here we go. Gonna go in and start the fight. Got unlucky here, I have a right side. I'm just gonna go with what I usually do, is 2 body shots.
I've been with the
and then 2 headshots, and that should hopefully end the fight.
I grew up on the battlefield.
Unless I miss.
And victory were my parents.
Which hopefully I won't.
The unit.
And if she goes forward, that will save us some time. No, if she goes back, that will cost us like 2 seconds.
And
that's basically Olga. And now after Olga, the first glitch gets introduced here. So instead of going through the engine room and going right on deck A, we're going to go left. And we're going to glitch ourselves through the door. Thanks to being on very easy, we're also gonna have 7 magazines. 7 magazines means we have 7 throwable items, and we need a throwable item in order to extend Snake's hitbox to go past the border. So we're gonna make our way all the way back down now to deck A. No need to worry about all of these things. This is basically the same as the glitches run so far. And then when we go to deck A, that's where the fun begins.
Possible hostiles sighted. Send backup.
So, before I enter the room, I'm on my USP, and when I enter the room, there's different ways how to go about the Prozac room. What I will do is, I'm gonna actually go in, and I'm gonna shoot once to get an alert. That will delay a few of the, enemies in the room. And also, at the bottom of the stairs of deck A, on the left side, there's another guard. If you get an alert, he will make his way up. And for us, that's great because he will be then out of our way. So I'm gonna go down to the next room. I'm gonna skip the cutscene and do 1 shot. I'm gonna do a roll, and you can only start the roll after you're halfway down these steps. And I'm gonna go to the magazine, so I have a USP and magazine setup. And the guard that's on the left, he heard me with this 1 shot, and he will call in an alert.
Send backup. I have an.
I'm gonna go over here, gonna go over the railing, gonna hop down, and either the guard will just phase through us, or we will land on top of the guard and he will be knocked out. That's the beginning of the Prozac Skip here, and the actual Prozac Skip comes up now. I'm gonna hold D-pad down. As soon as I start doing my first step, that's when I can also do the roll. If you do the roll right away, for example with Turbo, you will fall on your nose. So you're gonna have to take 1 step down after you hopped over the railing, and then you can do a roll forward. Just hold L2, down 1, and then tap L2 again. This is just there so we have the camera ready for a later glitch and later part of the run. And as we are here, all the guards are currently looking for us above us. Like, none of them are coming down here on very easy. And the only thing that you need to know about Prozac Skip is we want to have a throwable item turn into this right door that's currently closed. And we're going to touch the loading zone that's on the opposite side of this door. And we do that by extending our hitbox, and we do that by throwing an item and turning it to the door. It's that simple, really. And there's a few things you need to know. What I always do, I do the roll forward, and I do hold right on my D-pad, so I align myself with the door. What I'm going to do then is, I'm going to throw the magazine, and then I'm going to go first person throw, and then turn into the door. So I'm basically like dead on this door. Not sure if they come down now. Oh no. There you go. Got some peace and pie. Peace and quiet. So I will be standing here, first person, throw the magazine, and then turn here. I'm not gonna let go now. How long does our hitbox stay extended? This legit surprised me. I thought, no joke, I thought if I stay in FPV for that long, the hitbox extension effect goes away after a while. Apparently not. So you see my reaction live right now to this. This is crazy. I've never done a tutorial for Prozac Skip myself because I think the one that Prozac himself did for his own trick that he found is sufficient enough. Here we go. Cutscene. Shoot once. Roll after the half of the stairway. And I don't have a magazine in my hand right now, so I'm gonna quickly have to edit it in.
Send backup.
There you go. So I'm gonna go over here, hop over the railing. I'm gonna go down. This time I knocked out the guard. So ever he phases through, or we knock him out. I'm gonna start walking down, and as soon as I do my first step, I'm gonna do a roll forward. Doing this roll, I'm gonna hold L2 down, L2 again. And here apparently, I just need to lean, throw, turn around like this. Make sure that I'm like halfway there, and I can let go. Wow, you can really make sure that you hit that. You can like really make sure you hit that. That's amazing. So annoying. If you do it too late, by the way, this will happen. He was still just calling in the alert. But it's generally better to do it like this. You can also see, like in this example here, how much leeway there is for the guard to just ignore you. Because it feels like, even if I drop down and the guard's still like fully in front of me, he would still phase through me first until I fully stand up, and then my hitbox is apparently there. But yeah, the idea is basically we're just going to turn around like this and then face the door head on. Head on like this. Just lean, throw, head on, let go. Now the thing you want to do, of course, is that you will do this quickly. That may take some time.
Send backup.
So with this method, again, it's very easy to do. We're gonna get the guard at the bottom out of the way. And with the magazine in hand, what I do is to do it fast. I'm gonna go first person, throw, and as I see my left arm go forward, it's like forward and then I throw. So my left arm goes away. That's my cue to turn right. Right? I turn right. You can also do this left and then let go. And once again, I'm amazed that I can hold FPV and it still works. I thought it goes away after a while, but apparently not. You can take all the time in the world. Of course, there's a version where you can do this that's a little bit less stressful. So just because I get an alert in the beginning, you don't have to do it right away. So the maybe a little bit more beginner-friendly version of this Prozac Skip is you go in and you're going to use the M9. Track this guy. From the M9, go to magazine and back to the M9. Gonna go over the railing. Always go over the railing unless you're on Sons of Liberty US. And then normally there would be a guy down here. You still do the same thing. You can just quickly tranquilize him. Oh my god, he's just gotten awake. That's cool. And as I stand here, and now look at the radar. You can just trank them all, and you still have all the time in the world. Make sure that you're fully turning to the right, and let go. And this will, even if you do it this slow in quotes, like even if you take your time to trank every guard, and to make sure that you're like fully turned and 180 direction, right? It still will save you time, because going through the engine room costs you like 30 seconds. And that's the cool thing about Prozac Skip. There's actually a decent enough leeway for you. So if you're stressing yourself out, like, oh, I have to do this so fast, apparently not. And that's great that I was just doing this tutorial. Just turn around like this and let go. One step after another, you can easily do this. Alright, so you just glitched through the door. No matter how you did it, ideally you did it with the alert version, because that will leave you with the magazine in your hand and the SOCOM, the USP, sorry, it's a USP on the tank. It's a SOCOM on plan, it's a USP on tanker. After that, you can just basically go and do it as usual. Walk on over here, shoot sensor, and go for the door. Now, because you don't have the M9 in your hand anymore, You can either focus on just doing a roll and doing the roll, go back to the M9. Or the more advanced version is doing the hold up strat. And then getting an alert at the end. So, because I trust you that you already know from my glitches tutorial what you need to do at Act 2 here. I'm going to show you the advanced version. The ideal version, basically. You don't do any roll in the beginning. You just walk all the way through with the USB in your hand. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot.
Freeze.
Swap to the magazine. Swap back to your USB. Shoot this guy. And do a roll for him. You can do the roll relatively late. And during this roll, make sure to go back to the M9. We're gonna need the M9 right away, because there's still the third guy in front of us. We're gonna try to shoot him. Now, as you can see here, spamming the M9 like this doesn't work, because the guy will be like very quickly around the corner here. Right? Really important we focus with the M9 shot to only shoot the guy once, because it will be out of the way. We cannot just spam down. So 1, 2, 3.
Freeze.
Back to the USB. Shooting the guy, doing a roll for him, and give yourself enough time to make sure that when you do the roll, you do it through the doorways. If you do the roll immediately and rush it, you will do a roll instead into the door and lose all your momentum. Shoot the guy once, take a step more if you feel like it, and then do a roll. Right, and then switch to the M9. Go down here, and basically, I'm gonna rewind on the YouTube version and the edited version, but you see like Snake already aimed down right. Not just down the hallway, but down right. A little bit leaned. That's when you know that the guy is here. He can be either in this part of the room, or if it works out slightly differently with the timing, he can be in this part of the room. Roll. Make sure you actually hit him. Hold out. And this time he was in a different corner. I always grab the USB bullets here. I know, basically, as I said, the boss fights are always basically glitchless, so just go for guard rush. My god, I was getting all the ammo here. And that's it. And so, for the final glitch of Tanker, at least, there's only really 2 things if you want to participate in Tanker ILs. First one is Prozac Skip. Second one is the ladder skip. Or ladder glitch, rather. And I already made a tutorial for one variant of the ladder glitch. So we'll refer to that in the description down below on YouTube. But I'm gonna do it still here as a more comprehensive version. There's always 2 aspects to skip in the ladder. The first one is to initialize a glitch that allows you to have 2 animations play at once. So as you can see here, I can do a punch kick, and for example during the kick I can tap L2, which we already prepared to have camera on previous. So we can do punch kick, and during the kick equip the camera. And normally during the kick, if you equip the camera, we go into the camera right away, right? But the kick here, it delays going into this first person view with the camera. And we're gonna utilize that, because we're gonna have a glitch happen here as I stand in front of the ladder, where we'll do a punch kick, and during the kick equip the camera, and as the camera is still not in FPV, we'll press triangle to go on the ladder. The combination of the camera forcing us into FPV, but also the ladder expecting us to go on the ladder, will have this effect. So once again, punch kick, during the kick, L2, and then triangle. And this will happen. We're not on the ladder anymore, and at the same time the camera wants us to be in the FPV version. And you can even technically go and leave holds 1 like this if you were to go down 1 set of stairs, or 1 set of ladder. And the cool thing about this is, how do we get out of this state? Like, I don't want to be constantly hopping over like a bunny. And then there's always the second part of the ladder glitch. Like, the first part is always this. You know, we delay like this. You can just do 1 punch, and during the punch equip the camera, and then press triangle if you're really fast. Or what I would recommend beginners is if they started to punch kick, and during the kick L2 triangle. You know, that also works. You can also do 2 punches. Oops. And of course you can also do one punch. That's like the maximum time save. Takes some time, but the easier version of course is equip the camera doing the kick. And just make sure after you tap L2 to tap triangle to go on like this. Now, how do we get off the ladder? We're gonna go on the left side of the ladder. We're gonna initiate the ladder glitch. And after that, we want to hold D-pad right and X. And what will happen is that Snake slowly will lower himself twice and reach the end of the ladder. Right? At the end of the ladder, you let go of both buttons. And you're gonna try to catch the ladder by just hopping. By going left here, you will automatically hop. And then press triangle in order to catch the ladder. It's unfortunate that this version... So this is probably the easiest version of the ladder glitch that people can do. So punch, punch, kick, camera, and then D-pad right and X. 2. You see me going down twice, right? And I will end up just on the bottom level. I'm gonna hold... Oops. I'm gonna hold left here. And you see me hopping around, right? And the trick now at the bottom here is to go to the ladder and press triangle to grab the ladder and get off. And that's the whole idea. 1, 2. And there we go. That's how you reach the end of the ladder. Alright, editing house says here, I was constantly referring in the stream to this variant of the ladder glitch as we need turbo for it, so I cut it all out. But during testing, I just found out you can totally do this without turbo on any console. It's still the same trick, or when you go down, you have to do D-pad right hold and then X constantly, right? So execute the ladder glitch as described, and then do right D-pad and X. And you still get down here. Now the problem without turbo here is that it can happen sometimes that you go too far, and that's a little bit of a risk. And with turbo, it's definitely easier and less risky. But just to make a point, you can do this also without turbo.
The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear.
So yeah, that's about Super variant. This variant, and so far it's been important that we are on the USP, by the way. You want to be on the USP for this. So we do this from the front. Punch, punch, kick. Oh, punch, punch, kick. We hold left. Left, X, up, triangle. And then we automatically land on our feet. This is a variant that at least doesn't require turbo. So anyone can do this. Literally anyone. All versions of the game. PlayStation 2, Xbox Original, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 5, PC. Doesn't matter. As long as you initiate the initial glitch and then hold left, let go of left, and then X, up, triangle in a relatively slow manner actually. As you can see, yeah, I'm just doing left, X, up, triangle. That's how you can land at the bottom of the stairs. Quite simple, not that easy to get for some people. Some people have weird input issues. And I want to remind you all that you have to have turbo off for this. Like if you have access to turbo, you have to do it without. Because if turbo is on, this will happen. My presses are just too fast and I cannot finish the animation. So turbo off if you have turbo, and just to focus on letting go of left, X, up, triangle. Because you can see as Snake is doing his animation, he's wanna swing one over to the left. He does one hop over to the left, that's where we hold left. One hop over to the left. I'm gonna cancel it by pressing X. I'm gonna press up, so we turn ourselves around. And then we press triangle. Is turbo required for these runs? Not at all. As a reminder, my glitchless beginner tutorial has been done completely without turbo. There's no requirement for turbo. And I want to make a clear point about that you don't need to use turbo. But, as it stands, the seemingly easiest version of the ladder glitch is the one where you have turbo. But the second version of the ladder glitch that I showed fully works without turbo and is just as fast. There's also another version. I'm going to quickly go over this. This is the fastest version that you can do. What you want to do is, you want to go to your M9 and then go to your magazines.
The only thing that
We want to have this set up specifically because we don't want to change away from the M9 anymore. However, it can happen that you softlock yourself in the beginning, so beware.
metal gears that exist
You want to use the magazine or any throwable item.
the blind rush to nuclear
Magazines, though, are a little bit faster than a chaff that we can grab during the tanker.
accomplish this.
So magazines are preferred. We're going to initiate the ladder glitch here from the left side.
Industrialized nation on the globe
We need turbo for this again.
from Metal Gear.
So the second one is the only one that works without turbo. The other ones are the versions that work with turbo only. I'm going to hold down square. I'm going to go right for one hop and then left twice.
Ours is not the
Oh, wow. And I should have let go of square at some point, or else you throw the magazine. The whole point is really that you do this from the left side with the magazine and then go one hop to the right and then two to the left. And then you end up here at the bottom. Let's go right and then a little bit to the left. You want to be looking at like 300 degrees angle, roughly. Because you don't want to go just left. You want to go a little bit higher. Because it can happen with this method of ladder glitch. Again, one hop to the right, two to the left. All by holding down square.
gear is, of course, another Metal Gear.
Can happen that the camera glitches out and you stay like this.
The hundreds, if not thousands,
You can continue playing, you can finish holds 1 like this, but
the blind rush to nuclear
hopefully you have radar on. If you are on radar tab off,
Marine Corps and
you have no way of telling where you are. You can of course walk here, and you can see yourself like this, but good luck finishing holds 1 like this. So, remember, if you do streak, it's a little bit risky, but it's the fastest version, and you gotta be like slightly going up left. Ever so slightly up left for this version of the ladder glitch.
with Ray, the
There you go.
not thousands of metal
So these are all 3 of the main variants of ladder glitch. There's a few more, but
proliferation will be
I want you to remember, if you start using glitches,
and our Ray.
the ladder glitch, I still think is not that vital, because you only save,
Reindustrialized
I think you save like 7 seconds or 8 seconds it was. I have a time comparison on my YouTube channel. You save like 8 seconds. Over the course of a full game run, that is barely anything. So if you don't feel comfortable at all doing this ladder glitch, I don't think you need to do that. In Tanker, the trick that's way more worth your time experimenting and trying it out is the Prozac Skip. And as we learned today, Prozac Skip can be done very slow, making sure you throw the magazine, you turn around enough, and then let go of first person. Basically, you have like all the time in the world to do this trick. This is a little bit more timing dependent, and you can save way more time with Prozac Skip rather with ladder glitch. Both of these things together, I think, take only a little bit of time to learn, but over the course of a full game run, the Prozac Skip is more worth it, and the ladder glitch is a nice addition.
Undeniable fact. We initiated
Just as a reminder, the glitches version, and I'm using turbo, but you don't need to use turbo for this. You can do it also manually. Just going down like this,
Metal Gear is, of course,
and then take the second ladder all the way down. And you can get a great full game time by doing a glitchless ladder.
all over the world are no longer a threat.
Absolutely.
The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be
Way more important if you add glitches to run this Prozac Skip,
and our
ladder glitch second. But
at the moment.
as we finish Tanker, it's time to move on into Plant. And there, of course, because Plant is bigger, we have also a few more glitches to talk about. So,
So do we
let's finish this, and
initiate Ray as a countermeasure to these.
I'm gonna do the classic version here.
The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another
Like this.
Metal Gear.
Bottom,
With Ray,
check the guy,
if not thousands,
check the guy if you want, or just roll for him,
are no longer a threat.
and holds 2 as normal.
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear.
See if I can do this first try.
Worse yet, so do a number of those.
Not at all. Oh, it still works.
They are all working on deploying their own Metal
And here we go. Now, explained it before, these photos are not part of the glitches. You can do 2-spot photos in glitches if you want. But if not, in my glitches tutorial, I already explained how to take these 2-spot 4 photos. So we'll not go into details here. And, whoops, I made a mistake. You want to end the tanker, as usual, with the M9 in your previous slot, and anything else inactive. Forgot that here, so I have to equip the M9 manual now. Oh, no, apparently my first picture didn't count. And my game crashed. Wow, okay. Everything went to shit right now. In the beginning, there isn't really much to say about the glitches. I already went into detail in my beginner's guide how the menuing works and how you can save a little bit of time, you know, setting up the menus. What's important here for plant is I'm going to actually utilize all the cartwheels or aerials that I usually would do. So this time I will not hold back. I will do all of them that I would normally do. And you can look at this run and go, okay, this is where a cartwheel would be useful. There's certainly more. There's certainly a few that you don't need to do necessarily. But these are the ones that I personally do. Such as, for example, over these guards. Gonna say okay to all of that, and then we're gonna go back and grab the M9. Just gonna walk left here, and now that we're done with this, one cartwheel over these guys. It's not really important. The timer runs after the second codec, so we just got all the time in the world. I'm gonna do one cartwheel over these stairs. I'm gonna grab myself the M9.
I'm under attack. Stay alert.
One cartwheel up here, and then we go through. Shoot this guy, and then here we go. And now just waiting for all of these things to be over. And here will be the first thing that's not a glitch, but just movement tech. What I will do is I will go left here, and I will roughly start a cartwheel on this line, right? And hopefully I will land like roughly in front of the hole. So, where's my trainer? As I start from this position, I will go like this and a little bit north. So ideally I'll land with my head right inside the cell. So I just need to hold up like this. It's a little bit nicer to do because you don't need to walk over and then crouch manually. You just do the cartwheel and hold X in order to end with your head in this hole. Let me continue as usual. Once again, I'm just gonna tap here to do cartwheels. So thanks to Turbo, I can just hold it. And basically, as long as we go towards Stillman, you basically already know everything from my beginner's guide, so we're just gonna move on without much explanation. Just a reminder, of course, to do a menu trick, we're gonna shoot one guy here. And see, this is the cartwheel risk that you take here. You don't want to take this one. This one, and we're gonna put away the M9. Put away the M9. Oops, that was also a bad cartwheel. Because we're gonna have it in previous now, and we're gonna keep it in previous until after we met Stillman. The big part that's important to explain in Plant is the counterclockwise version with the conveyor belt glitch. And also because I'm playing on Plant chapter right now, I have to SOCOM in my hand and not the M9 in previous, so refer to the beginner's guide, what you need to do for your menu prep. And after Stillman, we basically come back and continue the more advanced versions of what to do here in Plant. I think even intermediate beginners should already do cartwheels here, because it's a very long stretch where you just go and you don't need to do anything. So just do a few cartwheels here. What I will do is I'm going to go here and then turn left to cartwheel. And I'm going to do a third one to go into the cutscene trigger like this. There we go. Let's go with that here. Very important to play on New Game Plus, because we want to skip these cutscenes. And here we go. So, beginning of bomb defusal. In the beginner's guide, and specifically for glitches, of course, we go clockwise. So we go Strat C to D, to E, to F, to A, to B, then to C, and back to B and A. The advanced method is, and overall it will only save you 15 seconds. If you maximize both of these directions, the counterclockwise with glitch version saves you like 15 seconds at most. So if you want to add this counterclockwise route, you can still get great times with right, so with clockwise. But ultimately, especially on higher difficulties, I learned for myself, doing the counterclockwise glitched run around these bombs is a little bit easier to do. And the trick itself is also relatively easy to execute, so I would suggest, once you feel comfortable and you want to go into any percent, it does make sense after a while to focus on doing counterclockwise bomb defusal with the glitch. However, I don't know, C level tier of difficulty, it's not that crazy, and the reward isn't also not that crazy high. But if you want to do counterclockwise, this is how we do it. First off, we go out of the room and we're going to turn left, because we're going to start here with the bathroom bomb. We're going to do at least one cartwheel to put on our M9, the coolant spray, and then menu away. And we're going to defuse once again the bomb here like this with enough distance. You don't need to go close. You cannot get this as a fast bomb. I'm going to go over here and follow the bridge down. Now, instead of at the top, the guard will come out, of course, opposite to us, so we will be at the bottom end. We're going to do 3 cartwheels, 1 shot with the M9, and 2 more cartwheels. And then we're going to defuse the next bomb. Same as if we were doing clockwise. Counterclockwise, just close the door and freeze the bomb. No movement at all, it will always be a fast bomb. You can hold up this guy if you want, you don't necessarily need to. I'm going to do 1 last cartwheel there. Go to Strat-A. Once again, we take the upper path here, or northern path. Just like we do in clockwise when we return back. And here, cartwheels can be done, but even I don't do them. Now, Strat-A is a little bit different. You can just shoot this guy, you can cartwheel through him, you can hold him up, doesn't matter. What's important is that you go here all around. You can get extra ammo here for your SOCOM if you think you need it. Normally you don't. We go around here and we're gonna grab the box. We're gonna utilize the coolant rise, so R2X R2. I'm gonna go over and grab the box 1 here. I'll come back out. And what we want to do is, after I set 1 step on these stairs here, I'm going to do a cartwheel over them, and doing the cartwheel, I'm going to go from the bomb sensor, press down 1 on D-pad to go up to the box, and press L2 again to go back to the sensor. Right now, so previous, I have the box and an active sensor. Cartwheel here at the end to immediately lie down. And we're going to freeze the bomb now, just as usual. Nothing new here. The new thing really is that we go around the room and grab the box. Coolant rise every time here, so we are faster. Remember to go. Oh, sorry. Remember to go diagonal here to get pushed forward a little bit, and then you're good to go. And now we're leaving towards F. Now, FA might be a little bit more stressful, I want to say. But what I would suggest is taking out this one guard. And get ready, there's another guard here at the door. They're all one-shot and very easy. And the same thing goes also for this one. Here we're going to do basically the same thing again. We're coming from the south instead of the north. And we're going to actually not leave to the southern door. We're going to go the steps up again to leave, of course, towards the north, to the next bridge. So we're just going to go down here. Get from previous coolant on. Spray the bomb from far away. You cannot get a fast bomb. And as an advanced thing, now you want to go around the corner and grab the stuns. So go up here, stuns, and go. At the end, as Raiden's head basically touches the top of the stairs, that's when you can do 1 cartwheel to save a few steps. And now we're at the EF connection bridge. Immediately skip here, answer the codec. And we're gonna do what we also did in the glitchless guide. Only that instead of doing it just before we go to Fatman, now we're gonna do it during the bomb defusal segment. So we're gonna walk over here. We wanna stay in the center. We're gonna answer these 2 codecs. And we're gonna do a cartwheel forward into this claimer that's up ahead. Actually, I want to take this guy out. Can I even shoot? Okay, okay. So we wanna do a cartwheel on this dark line, the third line. This one. We're gonna do a cartwheel on that and then hold down X to go into prone. That will immediately grab the claymore without us exploding. And then we're gonna use cooldown rise again to get up here. And just go over to the next room. Here, it's basically the same as we do in Clockwise, only that we approach from the south. So we go here, we do one cartwheel here, and then leave towards the heavy board. The bomb there is literally the same as in Clockwise. So I'm gonna utilize my movement technique where I hold D-pad down left. Forgot to do the cartwheel actually, but you know what I mean. And now we're gonna go over here. So I actually am gonna do a lot of cartwheel over here. As long as I make the last one as the next color part begins, we're fine. And the thing with counterclockwise is that the chords are basically on every other bomb than it would be normally. So I'm gonna do quickly and get up and cooldown rise. And there we go. And now, very important, I wasn't quite honest with you. We do something different in clockwise, in anti-clockwise with the glitch than we do to clockwise. And that is actually, we're gonna go left here and grab this second box. This box down there is box number 3. So we have box 1 and box 3 now. And we're gonna utilize also the first glitch. So we go back down here to Strut-A. And we're gonna use our glitch. This is the glitch that makes counterclockwise actually faster compared to clockwise. And it's quite easily done. We're gonna hop on this conveyor and go into this box here. Not this box, but the bigger one behind there. Because here is a loading zone inside this thing. That's a loading zone in here. And if we have a box equipped, we're gonna use the conveyor belt system to get transported over the plant without needing to walk there. Box 1 will get us to Strut-C, and box 3 will get us to Strut-A. So we're gonna be on box 1 and sensor. And what we need to do is quite simple. We come from up here, go down, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean against this exit. We're gonna go all the way into the corner here, right? All the way in the corner. First person, and ever turn around until from these. You see the red box underneath my radio, right? The little sticker on the thing. If that touches my viewpoint here in 16:9, that's where I can let go of FPV, press triangle and take one step forward. Now I'm on top of the conveyor belt and I don't need to do anything else. I just need to take one step forward and I will not be pushed back.
There's somebody there.
I quickly take care of this guy. So again, just to reiterate, I'm coming around the corner, I'm gonna hold down, go all the way in the corner. First person, I'm gonna use this sticker, the red sticker, and have it at the edge of my right screen. Alternatively, you can also use the M9, and you can even go as far as this here. Do you want to shoot the right part of this metal? Shoot this, and then press triangle and take one step forward. What happens if you don't take the step forward? Well, you will immediately pop down again, so... See? You want to avoid that. As long as you take one step forward, you will not fall down and you're standing on top of you. And you want to absolutely make sure that you don't take another step forward. You're gonna do one more. And then the third step forward. Oh no. What happened? Well, you actually get... That's the problem. You cannot get off this. You are soft locked. Because the guy at the bottom here on very easy, he's basically deaf. He doesn't see us. And if you shoot, even if you shoot with the SOCOM, right, he would not hear us. So that's the danger of this trick. Thankfully I have the trainer here so I can redo this. But if you walk too far over this conveyor and you have 2 steps to stop, it can happen. Oops, let's try again. It can happen that you soft lock yourself. So you just want to take one step forward and then go left.
There's somebody there.
Yeah, I know. Let me cool you down. What you want to do is you go in this position here, one step forward and just walk left. It can happen. It's also another thing with this trick here. that you go left too early, and then you will immediately fall down. I hope I can reproduce this quickly. I can't. I'm too good right now, but it can happen that you go left too early and then you will hop down immediately. So it's important you basically do this trick, one forward and then left. And as long as you stand, you know, on this conveyor, you're good. You will not fall down again. There's a little bit of an insurance to this trick. So as soon as you're on top of this conveyor, see, this is what happens. I was too quickly going left here. As soon as you're on top of the conveyor, tap L2, and then you cannot fall down anymore. And that is your little insurance that you can have if you're new to this trick, so you don't fall down in this little hole here and don't get soft lock. As long as you have the box on, you cannot fall down. You're gonna walk, and you're gonna walk all the way to the right into the load zone here. So, that's basically everything you need to know about the conveyor belt glitch. Let's do it in full speed. Gonna go over here, one cartwheel down, second cartwheel down. I'm actually switching over to D-pad. Lean, go up, left, and then you can do cartwheel and go. Teleport to the Strut-A. And now there will be one guard here already. You can fully ignore him, it's very easy. He does notice you and he doesn't see you normally. Grab the sensor B and now make your way over to the CD bridge. On the CD bridge, we're going to do one more menu. So I'm going to do one cartwheel. And from sensor A, I go down and left or down and right. Doesn't matter because you only have two boxes. You want to make sure to be on box 3. And you're going to keep walking here. If he shoots you, let yourself be shot. It's fine. You basically want to have the guy see you and start calling an alert because that will prevent the cutscene of the camera seeing you play out. So if he's about to run away and calling the alert, that's great. Let him do that. So one very easy. Even if he manages to fully call in the alert, it's very easy. We're going to leave the room and it's going to be dropping again. The whole point of being seen there is basically just so the cutscene doesn't play where the camera sees you. Basically doing what we already had happen in MGS1. From here, Strat-A is literally the same as we do Clockwise. There's nothing else about that, so just follow along, I guess. If you know how to do Clockwise, you know how to do anti-Clockwise in Strat-A. That's the good thing about it. If you really think about it in many aspects, counterclockwise isn't even that different. It's only different in the aspect of the box trick and the conveyor belt glitch.
Communications with Strut-A have ceased.
One cool thing about the next bridge actually is that because we have a box, we can do it slightly different from when we don't have a box. So currently we have the box 3 in our inventory. And we do have this core here, by the way. Because it's the next room after we frozen the final bomb. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna now put on the box. The guy will shoot us, but then walk away and we have no slowdown. We're not gonna get stunned from this. Now for the second time, and now with the box 3 in previous, we're gonna go over here and do the conveyor belt glitch a second time. You can even do a cartwheel over there. And now in Strat-A. And basically, we just zigzagged all over the entire plant using the conveyor belt system. And that's what it's all about. That's what's about counterclockwise with conveyor belt glitch. We visit every room only once and then get teleported to A to immediately go up here. And I would say, again, if you're very comfortable with Clockwise, you don't need to edit necessarily in order to have a fast full game run. However, it's definitely not bad to getting used to counterclockwise with this glitch, because it can still save you some time, up to 15 seconds maximum. And also, I personally think it's way easier to do counterclockwise on higher difficulties. Other than that, you can basically do everything as we did in the glitchless beginner's guide. So we're gonna talk again, basically at Fatman. I'm just gonna focus on doing the run. Great example how you can freeze the bomb, but not see it. It's still there. One cartwheel up these stairs. One into the codec, so we can answer the codec quickly. And here we go. Time for fortune. It just stays true. Almost all of these boss fights are literally the same, no matter if you're beginner or pro. However, I'm gonna do one thing that will be slightly different at the end. In this video, I'm gonna show you non-lethal Fatman. And it's literally just one thing that changes already here at the end of Fortune. All right. Come on, shoot the barrel. The barrel, not me. Alright. So at the end of Fortune, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand here and switch to the 𝐸𝐿. That will put the M9 in my previous. I personally want to have the M9 for the next few segments. With the M9 in previous, once we go upstairs, I'm gonna just tap R2, and then as we do the cartwheel down the stairs in Strut-A pump room, we're gonna just tap up twice to go to the 𝐸𝐿 and then return again. So hopefully I don't blow up now. Of course I will. It's always great to blow up here. Grab the chaff and then go down. Get the M9 from previous back. Cartwheel. Up twice. Remove. Move on. Now that we have the M9 actively in your hand, it will be also a little bit nicer to go through the warehouse like that. And that guy you could drag or still just ignore, it doesn't matter. As up with the M9. Shoot him. Nice and easy. Oh wow, and I just had a little bug. What just happened is that the camera started moving, and if you try to do a roll or even a cartwheel like this, then the camera movement somehow interrupts it, and we have a crouch, so-called seam crouch. That usually doesn't happen. I'm gonna do one carpet over here, will be fine. One here, one more here, second one even, my god. And then we're good to go. This is how I cartwheel these places. Going up to Fatman. I already said everything you need to know about lethal Fatman in the beginner's guide glitchless, so I'll refer to that. What I'm going to try to show you today is how I do non-lethal Fatman. There's an IL non-lethal Fatman version that's even faster by like 4 seconds. But there's a reason why I like the version that I'm going to do. So I'm going to get all the ammo, which technically you don't know. Gonna freeze the bomb now. We're gonna stay now for Fatman. We're gonna stay here in M9 active and 𝐸𝐿 on previous. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have him fall over in the beginning. Falling over, we're gonna give him 4 quick headshots. And ideally he will be immediately knocked out with these 4. I just need to freeze the bombs and that ends the fight. So hopefully I can do this still. And then I'm gonna explain step by step what I'm doing. Wow, what are my hands doing? I've not done this trick in a while. There you go. 4 headshots. First fast bomb. Second fast bomb. I'm too close, but it's fine. So, what just happened? It's quite simple. There's a glitch with Fatman that we can do where we can give him more headshots than normally would be possible within one cycle. We're already utilizing 2. 1 before his stars are above his head, and then 1 when his stars are above his head. But if we time ourselves quite right, and I did another specific video about this that I'll link in the description down below, we can absolutely hit him 4 times in the head and end the fight. And the greatest thing about it, that it's reliable, that he will not run away at all on very easy. The key point is we're going to move right and basically stand like on my shoulder. There will be a second dot on the ground. The second dot on the ground is my cue to line up. I'm going to listen to Vamp. He's going to do 3 dashes like shh, shh, shh. After the third one, I'm going to start doing a punch, punch, kick. So he does shh, 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 and then tap, 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 tap. That's when I do a punch, punch, kick. And he should always fall over to my left. When he falls over, he already takes some stamina damage. And then 4 more headshots is all that I need. The way I do these headshots is I go first person, auto aim, and then press square. Let go of square. Then first person. Double tap R2. Go back in. R1 square. Let go of square. Let go of R1. It's important that you do this one after another. Like a roll. I'm rolling off my hand. I'm rolling off from square first and then R1. I'm not going to let go both at the same time. I'm going to roll it off. Square R1. One after another. And that has worked out for me, at least, with the timing that I hit all of these headshots perfectly well. Just rolling off square, then R1, double tap R2. Like this. And that's all I need to do in order to have Fatman basically be done in 4 shots on non-lethal. No chasing around at all. No randomness. It's very, very advanced. And it can very, very easily happen that you only get 3 shots in or even 2. But if you really seek out to edge out a nice way to save time, this is like the way to go. It can save you up to, I think, 6 or 8 seconds. I think compared to my previous version. But it's also very difficult. So my recommendation is, this is like an A-level trick. If you really want to add this, you can do this, but it's probably only for those people that really want to get like the last few seconds of time save. So if you're going to aim for like 102 and 101 times in full game PC Substance, as a reference. See, I missed 1 shot here already, so that's how quickly it can go south. And the only backup to that is from M9 go to SOCOM, hope that he goes somewhere where you can shoot him. And then you have to freeze the bombs. That's why it's very risky. High reward, but also high risk for this trick. I only got in 2 shots this time, so I have a more detailed video about this on my YouTube channel that I will link in the description down below, but this is a thing that you can do. You can also do it like this. Also works, but that was when the timing was off, so ideally you wait after the 3rd dash and then wait a short second, if even a full second, and just go like this. Don't want to dwell on this too much because they have other things to discuss here, but this is the pro version basically that I do. This is how I got myself a 102. And here we go. Now we're basically moving on, and the next glitch is actually quite far away. Believe it or not, there's a pro strat I want to show you in another room. So if you want to advance from beginner strat away, that's why we grabbed the stuns in the warehouse. I'm going to go down into the core shell 1, B2. I'm going to show you how it works with the stuns. Because it's actually quite easy to do. But at least in Clockwise, we do not usually go to the stuns. So I'm going to... One more thing. After we switch here from sensor A to BDU, remember, because we have boxes in our inventory from the counterclockwise route, L2 and down twice to go to the BDU. Because we already have the stuns in the inventory, we can also do this, where we get the coolant spray back, go up, up, 1 left. Now we have the stuns already in our hand. We're actually going to use the stuns. From here on out, it's the same as the beginner version of this guide. I'm gonna go down here, go to the shell 1 core, and grab the AK. Once again, if you want to use the D-pad, you can also use the analog stick, but I personally use the D-pad here. It's just free, it's easy. You don't hit any of the claymores to the ground, and I mean, I got 2 101s using this though, so it's absolutely not vital to maximize your analog stick like this. Quick word of advice here though. one little thing that you can do, and I have not mentioned this in the pro guide, sorry, in the beginner's guide. In the center where there's this black line on the floor tile, right? That is your visual cue where you can do a cartwheel over the stairs to the left and save like a second. Wow, didn't even work. Okay, what is wrong with me? There you go. That's what I wanted to show you. So when you come in, you basically take like one step over this dark line. And if you do too late, you will immediately fall. If you do it too early, you will fall at the top. And if you do it just right, you can do a cartwheel over here. And my initial instinct for this is also, it could be completely nonsense, but I let go of all the buttons as soon as I initiated the cartwheel. Just so I end at the top and don't fall down. So D-pad left, nothing else. D-pad left, and do one press of X. And as soon as I see that the cartwheel begins, let go even of left. To just let it play out and not fall on my butt. See, and it doesn't even work 100% of the time for me. But it's 100% reliable if you do it in the right timing. And the visual cue is this dark line in the middle. Moving on from here. Gonna grab the AK. Do one cartwheel here. Just do R2 and up press to go down on the AK. Cartwheel through this guy. And you'll be fine. Now we're gonna go over here to the elevators. You can do 2 carpets to the right. You can even have the guards see you. What's more important for this part of the tutorial is, before we go down, we switch to the stuns. So once we enter the elevator, we are on the stuns. Oops. As usual, up triangle. And now when we enter B2, you can already start pressing square. So we want to throw a stun inside this elevator here. I press square, I quickly go down right, and then swing up again so the stun lands inside the elevator. After I see the stun leaving my hand, now it's time to go back and do a cartwheel down here. We're gonna stay on the stuns. Ooh, well, that was not nice. You can do 3 cartwheels down here. And then basically, just here, you see this like bright line on the wall? Just with the little dark part in here, in front of my head. That's my cue where I throw the next stun, second one. And I'm gonna shoot with the AK against the wall. What it does is that I get a re-alert. The re-alert will have the backup guards that are coming on top, from top, that are currently standing in front of the elevator. They will all go away from the elevator. And the second stun that I threw before I even shot the AK should explode at the right time. So we have everyone knocked out, away from the elevator. And if you do a third one, by the way, you will get spotted, but it's fine. And then everyone should be out of our way. And ideally, with the perfect timing, there will be a guard even in this door and keep it open. So we could do 1 cartwheel over here and then go into the elevator. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I'm going to try it again. It's the usual explaining and doing it at the same time. Even if you fail the stun throw, it will still save you some time. Compared to doing the non-alert version. Because you still... The thing is, why we throw the first stun into the elevator, it's quite simple. That will keep the elevator open. So even if you just use 1 stun, and you fail like me right now. I should have thrown this stun slightly later. Even if you fail it like this, you will still save like 4 seconds. And the elevator will stay open. That's what the time save basically is about. You can also just do 1 stun. Forget about the second. And then the elevator door will still be open. And just as usual, R1 and square to immediately get the cutscene here. Then skip the cutscene, hold D-pad down left. Knock on the wall. And then align yourself. Punch twice. Turn around. And now important. Remember, did you use 2 stuns? Is your previous empty? Because that will be important now. On easy and normal, where I only use 1 stun, I still have another stun in my previous slot right now. So I would need to go from the AK, hold R2, up twice to go to nothing, then equip the AK quickly again before the guard sees me. Very easy because we used 2 stuns. Our previous will be empty now, and so don't need to worry about that, but make sure to remember you want to have nothing in your hand. Because as the guard bypasses you, if you have a stun in your hand and you throw that one, then you're in trouble.
Null pattern recognized.
But as usual, you can just go about like this and then move on. Alright, let's see where aims is. Not here, not here. Oh, there he is.
Your aims, aren't you?
And I specifically unequipped the BDU again, once again for the reason that it would give you a little bit of a delay going into the cutscene where the game has to render the BDU on top of Raiden's model as we are in this cutscene.
Colonel.
Sorry to answer
He's
someone.
dead. Looked like a heart attack.
That's unfortunate.
Alright, moving on. Now, basically, everything's the same compared to the glitches beginner tutorial. I'm just gonna go here. Gonna shoot the guy just to be safe. It's something we have to do on easy and normal difficulty. For very easy difficulty, it doesn't matter too much. It's just force of habit. And then 1 cartwheel, 2 cartwheel, 3 cartwheel, 4 cartwheel, wait, 5 cartwheel, and we're gone. And yeah, ideally you want to get rid of the BDU already in the previous room, but no, I digress. Here's another thing that I like to do. Once again, on this line, dual cartwheel. I think, slightly too late. Let's try this again. I just do D-pad right. And then on this, it's basically... Oh, shoot. Turbo was on. Let me do it again.
What's wrong? Right. Right.
Ah, when you want to explain something, then F up. There we go. So we just go over here. So on this double line that you can see right now, there's like 2 lines. This is where I want to do a cartwheel. I think I already mentioned this in the Glitches Beginner Guide, but just want to mention this again. This is a relatively safe spot to do a cartwheel onto the oncoming stairs. And you will not 100% skip all of them, but you will basically be very safe to go almost all the way to the top of these stairs. So, because I had to pause, it was a little bit screwed up, but as you see here, in theory, everything should work now. There we go. Like you're almost all the way, 2 steps more, and you go. There is a way how you can do this from this line, and you end up all the way at the top, but it's very finicky, and if you do a cartwheel too early here, you basically mess it up. I don't know why that is. So that's whenever I explain this little cartwheel to save a little bit of time, I go 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna do 1 now, and then cartwheel at the double thing to end up almost at the top of the stairs. Quite easy to implement, definitely worth it. That's why I already mentioned it in the beginner's guide. But yeah, time to get the sniper. Copy here. 1 down here. No here. It's really like squeezing frames if you do 1 inside the room where the PSG1 is. But along these like long walls, totally worth doing a copy. And now, once again, going up here. 1 copy here. To the side. 1 up. 2 copies down there. And the last one to the right. Just making our way over to the Harrier, as usual. This is where you notice like a top level run and the beginner's guide run are not even that different for the most part, because so many things just make sense to do right away. And the only component that we add the more we play as speedrunners is that we add these cartwheels. So many of them are basically free, like these very long distances where you have like the rail as your guard. You can basically not screw that up, so these are very easy ones to do. And yeah, just like in my beginner's guide, just gonna go over here and do the Harrier. Now, of course, as a pro, I always want to do the Harrier 5+1 technique. Why did I do Cartwheel there? I will never understand that, but I did. Don't need to do that. and it's been a while since I did this, so I'm still a bit rusty here. Already explained that menu trick. We're gonna go here to the chaff, because we want to start the fight with chaff, and then just need to go down 1 to the stinger. Three, 4. That's the fight. 5. And we're done. Really, like, even in the beginner's guide, I said, like, hey, focus on 2-shot or 2.5-shot first. But, you know, the Harrier is a practice thing you gotta do just in your own time with lots of practice, just sitting down and do it. I don't know if I can really explain much more other than, I mean, look at what everyone does when they get a successful 5+1 and copy them. I don't know much else to say about Harrier. It's really intense and something you just gotta sit down and practice a lot, I think. Anyway, since we already recorded the base guide here for this, not much else to add. Everything the same, basically. There's people that do 1 copy there, 1 here, of course, and then another 1 here. I never do the first one. I only do number 2 and 3 down this bridge. Still 1 more, and there we go. Copy. Oh, excuse me. What is going on here? Normally, this should look like this. There you go. Copy towards the ladder, R2, and then triangle to go on the ladder immediately. Remember, the third window, we do 1 cartwheel. Only that now I do another 1. And I do 1 around the corner. And then use D-pad up left to lean against the wall. And then up to start my, my jiggle around, or along the wall, I guess. D-pad up until I fully see myself leaning against the wall, and then D-pad up left, and then D-pad up to just go here. Just throw the second shaft whenever. It lasts for quite a long time, so basically as soon as you're over this little gap, you can go. As I explained, we don't need this AK ammo. I'm gonna do 1 cartwheel. Basically, when there's like 5 more steps in front of me, you can see like the middle line here of this map. This is where I do a cartwheel over to save a few steps that I don't need to do myself. 1 down here. Going left, 1, 2, wait, 3. You gotta take 1 manual step. And then at least 2 more here. And there we go. Once again, remember to turn around during this little cutscene. And then we're good to go. Really not much else we do on pro level runs, and no glitches yet. I'm gonna show you, of course, swim glitch going towards Vamp 1, because that's like the new thing. And as a prelude, the swim glitch is it's like a B level difficulty. It's definitely worth it learning relatively early, but you can still get like great times without that glitch as well. Like as many aspects as we have for all the glitches that we can do to save time here, if you don't do any of these, you can still get like really great times in Metal Gear Solid 2. Because remember, like, how much time do we save? We save like 30 seconds on Prozac. That's quite good, very big, and relatively easy to implement. We have ladder glitch where we save like 8 seconds. Ooh. There you go. Ladder glitch like 8 seconds time save. All right, a bit tricky, but once you get it, you should be fine with it. And then what else is there? Well, we got the counterclockwise, which saves you at maximum 15 seconds overclockwise. Alright, not even a full minute yet. And then we have swim glitch. So swim glitch, if I remember correctly, is like a 30-second time save. But it's, compared to Prozac Skip, way more difficult to learn. So while it can be a great boost to your PB, it's still not something of the essential tricks you should learn in the beginning when you move over to any percent. If you just do still the same swimming sequence after you did glitches for a while, you can still get great times doing the swim segment without the glitch. Nevertheless, of course, I will sit down and explain to you how the glitch works and how to enable it. And yeah, get you ready for that. Problem is now it's just like so much that we just need to wait for, so it's nothing else I need to explain. Alright, so one pro thing we do, as I said in the beginner's guide, you can walk down there, or what I do, one cartwheel into this trigger. Just by holding down, waiting a short second, then when I see right has fully turned, then you can do a cartwheel. Squeezes out a few more frames.
I took these photos.
Alright. What I like to do is, because I end up always lower, I go actually south side around these boxes instead of north side. But that's just me. And here we go. As we go down, it's time to do the so-called swim glitch. Now, I said it already once, but the PlayStation 2 Sons of Liberty version, and only the Sons of Liberty version, has a trick, which I cannot use anymore because it's a substance, but basically you go prone in front of the elevator, you press triangle to press the button, and you would basically not stand up like this, you would be halfway into the ground. You do one cartwheel to the left, and then you can walk to Vamp without needing to do the whole swim sequence. In substance, 1 year later, they patched this, so if I go prone, press the button, I will fully stand up instead of just being halfway through the floor. So, the alternative to swim skip is swim glitch. And for that, we have to go all the way into the water. Now, I'm going to show this first without turbo. And there's multiple methods where to get started here. You basically want to do this. So if I go here, turn around, I'm going to go and swim against the wall here. And the whole idea is that you continuously swim against the wall here to gain enough height that you can slip past this little wall there. Right, so the whole idea is you're gonna swim around the corner and you're gonna balance yourself until you gain enough height. Like you gain height, and then you just turn left and swim over the wall. That is the swim glitch part. So how do we do that? So I usually just run the PC version, and on PC we have turbo. And the aspect why I need turbo is so I don't need to focus on pressing circles. So we've seen it in an example. I go here. I'm going to show the setup in just a moment, but I just need to tap left in a certain rhythm. And you can see on my input viewer how relatively slow I am. I'm relatively slow, and I keep my balance, and I just go. I want to go left. I'm going to go down, and the hitbox in front of us will actually push us down. And as soon... Yeah, great. As soon as I am pushed down, I know I can press just D-pad up to rise and basically get away here. So it would be like on very easy with the red, you can see I would just swim out like this, and I just missed it. Great. I often try to show an example and I miss. So we're in this box right there, and that would load us right into Vamp 1. That's the whole idea. We don't want to swim all the way, and we just want to go straight to Vamp 1. So I'm going to reload. Also, we don't need to do this with the D-pad, we can also do this with the stick. Because the whole idea is we just need to swim and then keep our balance. There's people that have an easier time setting it up by going into this corner here, go up, turn in first person, and then aim at this. And this is how it looks like without turbo. You just hold circle and left at a certain speed. It's not even that fast. You still get the height, but as you can see, like I'm not used at all to non-turbo. And you can sometimes miss like this. And that's where the risk comes in. This is, I would say, another A rank trick that certainly does save you a good chunk of time. But also, as you can see, like, you gotta get the right timing to get the balance right. And quite honestly, I myself, if I don't have turbo access, I kinda don't want to do that. As you can see, like, you gotta keep the right rhythm going to swim, and at the same time to balance yourself left, right. Like, you could technically go left, right. The swimming animation will always push you to the right, and we counteract that by going left. So as you see, you can do this with D-pad by just pressing that with a certain time. And alternatively, of course, you can also do this with left stick, just going left. One way that I align here is over here. D-pad up, first person turn, so you are at the top, and then swim. But if you hold D-pad left for too long, you will also just go left. It's totally possible, but as I said, like, it takes a lot of time, and even pros sometimes struggle with this trick. So I want you to know that this thing exists, it's possible, and A-level trick that good time save, and you can totally master it, but it's also very difficult, especially with our turbo, when you have to basically remember D-pad left and circle after you press at the right timing. So yeah. This also can be done with stick. I'm gonna attempt it with the stick. But the best explanation that I can give you is gotta find the right rhythm for that. I like this setup where I go on the right side, D-pad up to go fully to the top, first person turn so I don't dive down, turn to the right, and then basically swim here. And you can see I was already pressing left for too long. It can be done, but I'm not a pro for this. And so, if you have access to turbo, no matter which version of turbo, I still find this the easiest thing to do. And if you don't have turbo, you can do it without turbo, totally. But it's getting not easier with that. Because now I just need to focus on my balancing with D-pad left. I don't need to focus at all about my circle speed, and it's way easier. There's one last aspect I want to go into before we move on here. And again, I think you have like, don't let me lie, like 25 to 30 seconds, right? But this one thing, if it happens that you don't go all the way to the top, but just shy too short. But if you go like this, if you go to the left corner, it can sometimes happen that it does push you up a little bit. And that is sort of a backup. I'm like slightly, just very slightly, I was too low. But if you make it like almost all the way, like this, then you go in the left corner and you will automatically be pushed up the rest of the way. And I'm afraid this is all I got for you. It's really about left for balancing yourself and circle to swim. And every time when you do the swim push, you slightly get pushed up at this one corner of the wall. If you have turbo, just have to circle, and then D-pad left you can do manually. Some people on PC said D-pad left on turbo as well, so both of these buttons are turboed. My personal take is I got really used to it. It takes some time to get like really comfortable with this. And without turbo it's doable, but it's a little bit harder because you need to get the timing right. So this is a trick, while it's very worth it after a while to do, that I would consider, unless you're going for 103s, 102s, you maybe don't even want to look at it. Maybe you just want to do this trick and then be done with it. And at the end there, we're gonna go under the door, go up, and then we're gonna go straight towards Vamp 1. So yeah, swim glitch, kind of worth it, but only if you're gonna go for like really fast times. And in my opinion, a very difficult trick that really is only worth it going after unless you have like barely any other time saves left. Like I would rather recommend you go through Harrier lots more times. Make sure that you hit the Harrier at least 5 shot, ideally 5 plus 1 shot. And then when you're comfortable with everything else, then I think it's a good time to look at swim glitch. So yeah. One thing, if you do swim glitch like this, or swim skip on the Sons of Liberty, is that we did not open the doors at the end of the hallway, right? Cool thing is, we will actually not need to open the first one on our way in, I guess. But on our way out, we gotta open the first door on our way out. So that's another thing. While initially it looks like you have a big chunk of time saves, you're gonna lose, I think, like 8 seconds having to open the first door when you go back. Because you still gotta open this one. So as we move on, remember, if you have it on, turn off turbo when you escort them. Excuse me, there we go. She didn't want to go here. For the most part, until we get to the upper floor, this is still the same as the beginner's guide. Only with the one difference, of course. When you do swim glitch, gotta open that one door. When I like just to go down here and let go and then press just triangle. Because with the rest of the momentum, you can still open the door like this, right? And then you just go back all the way that you came from. As I said, the second door now is open, or the first one going in. And you can just go and leave the water. I'm so much looking forward to just editing all of these things together. It's gonna be a lot of work, but also very worth it. Alright, remember, once we get out of the water, I'm gonna go left. You're not gonna immediately hold triangle, because you can actually drag Emma a little bit longer. There you go. Then choke hold her and drag her towards the elevator. And now on top, we're gonna get to the only S rank trick where the risk is super high and the reward is basically too small to matter. Welcome to 𝐸𝐭 𝐒𝐫 1. I have 2 videos, actually 3 videos on my YouTube channel that I will refer in the YouTube description of this video, where I go into even more detail. I'm going to take my best chance I have now, but ideally, you're just going to look at that detailed video. The whole idea is we're going to go upright, going to bounce into the top right corner of the room. As we are aligning ourselves with the wall, we're going to go first person, choke Emma to have her in front of us. She will basically be teleported in front of us. And we have to wait for her to go slightly to the left in this choke animation. That's when I can let go. I can press myself on the right to the wall, punch once, and ideally, I get the glitch. Problem is, could happen that you still didn't do it right. It's very, very precise. And there's a backup that I'm going to show as well. But yeah, super high risk for a relatively low reward of 8 seconds time loss. Time save, sorry. 8 seconds time save. Classes on a Saturday. Yeah, I did have nothing else to do, so I'm going to hold my classes. So let's do this. In the beginning, again, D-pad upright. First person choke hold. Punch. And then hopefully she glitches. I usually wait for like 3 bounces. If she didn't zip after the 3rd bounce, there's only the backup. Backup is going against the wall, and then hopefully if I go from left to right, she zips. If not, I go down and I go up. And I keep doing this until she zips. Normally though, the run's a reset if she doesn't zip after the 2nd after the first time going up again, like that's a reset. Once again, upright, first person choke, wait for it to go left, wall, punch. Also, you want to punch basically when the red part of a shirt disappears between Raiden's legs. Super important that you just like go up here, punch now, and then hopefully she just vanishes. That's the ideal situation. First bounce, she just goes away. Perfect. What follows after she zips? Well, it's very easy, so it doesn't matter that we have an alert here. We could just go down.
Send backup. I have an unknown target here.
And especially first bounce, there's no one in your way that interrupts you. What's cool about this trick is that all the guards basically just like a spasm out. They're just trapped in a loop and just kicking. Literally kicking. It can happen that they kick you on accident. But the whole idea is we go to the end of the room, go through the door, and thanks to very easy difficulty, alert goes away. We come back inside after we zip them up. And now instead of her being at the elevator, she will be now here at the box. Just gonna go here and then leave. Now there's two ways how you can progress. If you got lucky on the first zip, and again, S rank trick, like super tricky and really not worth it unless you're going for like super top times. Like, I'm honest, like this is something nobody should do unless they're going for 101s and 100s. On PC Substance at least, you know. If you got luck in the first time and you wanna not do the second one, you can do the standard one. What's following? If you just drag Emma along, in the beginner's guide I said like, oh yeah, you can just go over here and then drag her over the door and you're good. Well, there's a little glitch. I think it's not even banning glitches officially. I need to look it up on the rules, but there's a little glitch where we can bounce Emma over the door and then walk after her. It looks like this. So we're here. We can get Emma in front of the door. We're gonna run into her and then load into the next room. And because we don't hold her hand, the game's like, where the hell do I put you? It looks like this here. Now Emma is way further ahead. This is basically called the Emma bump, because we just bump Emma over the door and we don't need to drag her through the door. In this position, we're just gonna go up here, we're gonna bump her one more time to push her ahead, and then grab her hand to go. Right? From here, this is why we had the AK in our hand. We're just gonna go, once again, shoot here. I'm gonna quickly turn on the radar, because it's not active in the safe. I can now go and then shoot both of these ciphers and then go on as usual. That's basically the power of the Emma bump. Let's do this back again. Quite simple. That's something everyone should do, with an exception. If you're running the HD version, and if you're running probably the Master Collection, you don't want to do the Emma bump. Like this little going up and then bumping her over the door frame can actually crash the game on HD. And because the Master Collection is based on the HD version of the game, it might as well crash the game here. So that's the only case where you don't want to do this. You do this on the PlayStation 2 version, the original Xbox version, and the PC Substance version from 2002. Oh, also, it needs to be said, while I haven't seen definitive proof, nobody has yet actually recreated the Emma zips. So far the Emma zips are something that are not only super high risk for relatively low reward, they have not yet also been reproduced on any other platform than the PC Substance version. Maybe in the Master Collection, we can do this trick on PC. We don't know what it actually causes, that Emma zips out of bounds and then the guards go crazy. But at least so far to my own testing, I could only make Emma zip work on PC. So if you're not even looking at the PC version, you can completely forget about... Like if you're running Master Collection, forget about anything Emma zip. Go to the glitchless beginner guide and just follow there. This is basically only for PS2 and the Emma zip specifically only for the PC Substance version. And anyway, what if you do want to do the second 𝐸𝐿𝐼? If you're like really crazy and want to have the other 7 seconds of time save, well, I'm gonna have to get Emma again, because when you go from this room here, you actually, after the first 𝐸𝐼, you drag her over. You just drag her over here, and we're gonna try to set it up for the second 𝐸𝐼. The second 𝐸𝐼 is even way less reliable than the first one. Like, the first one at least has a recipe. The second one, you only have like a good feeling about it. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna go down and right like this. First person, take you to choke Emma and basically put her in the corner. Gonna let go, right, punch, up, and then once I've fully turned, after I fully turned up, I hold D-pad down to lean against the wall. That will have Emma bump already once, and the only thing we can do now is just tap D-pad forward and hopefully get her to zip again. Like, it can happen as you've seen, but it didn't happen first try, so once again, we go down and right against the wall, throw in the corner, punch, and then just try to D-pad up, push her, and hopefully she will just eventually zip. And that's why I'm saying 𝐸𝐼s are really not worth it unless you're going either you're a show off. I mean, hey, you want to do, sure. Or you're going for like the fastest time off the top of the board. Because again, the risk here, it's not even reliable. It's just an attempt to have it to zip the second time here. And the reward is every time where she doesn't successfully zip, it's like a 2-second time loss. Even if you have to abandon the whole thing, it's even more time loss. So if you get a clean first try KL zip, that's like 7 seconds of time save. And hopefully you understand that the reward really isn't worth it for the risk that we're taking here, even attempting the trick in the first. Anyway, after she zips, leave the room, and come back. And what will happen is that Emma is back in the level. We can actually go now. We don't need to shoot any of these ciphers. And what we can do is, as we walk here, go to coolant, unequip it, go in position here, spray the fire. Because, oh shock, there's Emma. She's at the end of the level. After we zipped her, left the room, and came back, she will be basically on like a backup position, which is right where we need her, at the end of the room. So as I go, I do one more cartwheel, go to the AK, unequip it, and now I'm ready to go. And like, once again, like, Emma zips only seemingly work on PC substance.
Damn it.
They're very high risk for a maximum total time save of 15 seconds.
I don't have card 5. Damn.
So, I mean, I'll leave it to you if you want to learn this, if you want to practice this, if you want to do this. So, again, like, this is really something for only if you want to squeeze out everything. If you are like platonic guy that goes for 100 and maybe even for the sub-hour run, that's when it's getting worth it doing this trick. If not, don't do 𝐸𝐼. Right? Like, it's really not worth it. You can do that, but I would really advise against that. That's my personal take. But now you've seen it once, and once again, there's like even more detailed videos in the description down below. And from here on out, basically, nothing else happens except for Tengu 1 skip. And finally, Tengu 1 skip is the only thing that where I would say that's like the thing everyone should do. If you come from glitchless and you want to start doing any percent runs, like, you don't need to do any of the glitches that we've mentioned so far, but the upcoming Tengu 1 skip is probably the first trick everyone should do as soon as they start doing any percent runs, because it's super easy, totally worth it, and, you know, just do it, man. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna save myself the 5.5 minutes. Like, there's nothing here that I can tell you about the sniping section that I've not already talked about. So we're gonna load a save a little bit later, after we went past the sniping segment, because sniping segment is just 5.5 minutes of waiting for Emma to go on, so I'm going to skip it now. There's nothing I can explain to you compared to the beginner's guide. And we're going to go to after Vamp 2. Even Vamp 2 is like nothing worth explaining. The beginner's guide is basically what's what pros do. But after the sniping segment, we're just going to go. And the only thing that's really new here, like honestly, is the menu trick once again. Oh wow, I forgot that the safe has the PSG-1T. You want to equip the PSG-1 from tapping R2 and then go left to go to the AK. Do this cipher once, 1 cartwheel, 1 cartwheel, 2 cartwheel, shoot the cipher. That is only what I do because I add the cartwheels here. There's non-cartwheel that's worth it at the end here. And then once again, we're gonna do this little cartwheel over the stairs. You can do 2 here, you can do 1 or 2 here, and ideally you don't end like this in the elevator. You go like a little bit further. But that's the problem of finishing this thing correctly. Alright. Yeah, the bridge segment basically was the only thing that was worth examining again. For the most part, we do the same thing in glitchless as we do here. There's nothing different. It's only like adding a few more card bits, just trying to save more time.
Jack the Ripper. You know this fellow? You remember me, don't you?
So yeah, we can also fast forward here. There's nothing new about the segment.
High concentration of cerebral impact.
So basically, if you watch my beginner's guide, we're gonna go all the way to Tengu 1, and in Tengu 1, the Tengu 1 skip is basically the thing that I would recommend everyone should start with, because it's super easy, it's a massive time save, and if you've only done glitchless before, that's the first glitch you want to do when you begin doing any percent.
Olga.
And after the video, I'm also gonna rate every trick once again, and we'll make recommendations of which order of tricks you should do first, and then list later on which ones are less and less worth it. Right, here we go. Once again, I'm holding D-pad up right to get away around the corner a little bit easier, and then I'm going to immediately switch to the analog stick. Remember to hold down select as you load into the room. You want to first frame open the 𝐶𝐞𝐞. Gonna do 1 cartwheel to the right. Move on. As soon as we step around the corner here, as soon as our foot is on the first step of the next stairs, press select to open first frame here, the next 𝐶𝐞𝐞. 1 cartwheel. 2 cartwheels, and that's basically how pros do it. No PPK at all, and wow, how embarrassing. Of course I missed the gap. Yeah, ideally pros can make it over the gap. Oh no! Oh well. Feel free to point at me and laugh. I should be able to do this. It is what it is. Look, even one of the better runners can still mess this up. Oh wow, that's interesting. If that happens, wait to be shot. This is probably something definitely worth explaining. If you mess up like this, and you get to the gap, make sure you get shot once. Because after you get shot, you are on a few seconds of iframes, and you can still make it across the gap. Right, turn the game console off right now. So if that happens that you don't hit the guy, or you get kicked, make sure before you go to the gap, get shot at the gap, and then do a cartwheel over it. Because if you get shot doing the cartwheel, your animation gets cancelled, and you immediately fall down. So if you mess up there, and I'm gonna probably insert this in the actual beginner guide. If you make it over the gap, but you're under alert and you're getting attacked, make sure to get shot once, take the iframes, and doing the iframes through the cartwheel over the gap, so you don't get shot doing the cartwheel and end up at the bottom again. So here we go. Just the usual here. Wow, that was first frame about thinking. I just felt that timing. Oh my god. Oh, second time. What? 3 times. What? What? 3 times back to back. First frame answering the codec cards. Who needs pause buffering? Oh my god. I wish I could do this during an actual run. Holy shit, that was good. Wow. Alright. Oh my god. There's probably a little bit of a leeway before you can visually see the codec call coming in and actually being able to press the button. So you can probably press the button for a very short window before you see the red, overlay appearing on screen. That was 3 times back to back. I just fell. I was like, there it is. Holy cow. Okay. I just gotta do this during the run, eh? I was gonna say, did I swing my sword? Yes, I did. Alright, so we're coming up to Tengu 1 Skip. If you would ask me, what is the first glitch I should add to glitchless so I can go to any % and improving my time over glitchless, this is it. Tengu 1 Skip is super simple. We're gonna do a cartwheel forward, go from the SOCOM, press D-pad down to go to the AK. We're gonna run all the way to the end, to the door. Step 1. Right, I'm gonna shoot here. We're just gonna walk, do a few cartwheels if you want to save some time. If you want to make it to the end. There's 2 guards coming down here. You need to kill these 2. And then at the door, I personally would recommend to switch him back to the SOCOM. And what you need to do is, well, we already had that at Prozac Skip. You can do Prozac Skip here as well. If you have a throwable item that you can pull out. Or you could do this. Both variants work. So I'm going to show you the classic way to do this. Run against the wall. Switch to the SOCOM. Like I'm leaning against the door. And I'm going to go first person. You punch, kick. And as you see me turn around. I'll let go. And I need to slow this down on YouTube for sure. Like you see me punch, kick, and during the kick where I turn around, I'll let go of first person, and that will extend my hitbox to touch the load zone behind the door, leaving us to skip the entire Tengu 1 fight. It's super easy to do. If you try it out, again, just make your way all the way to the door, lean against the door, ideally go to the SOCOM. It's a little bit easier to see when you fully spin around. If you can do this with the AK. With the AK in hand, punch, kick, and as you do the kick and turn around, let go of first person. Totally doable. 36? Yep, that's the one. So, once again, just go all the way up. Just shoot them all. Just use auto aim. There's 1 guy coming from the right here. There's 2 coming up. And then just lean against it with the SOCOM, let go as you turn around. So, normally, when we kill these last 2 guys at the end, like this, it will be fine, but if you take too long, because, for example, now, because we do first try, but we need to do second, third try, there's a guard coming down there on the right of us. What can we do now then? Well, the good thing is, oh wow, okay, we got shot. Even if somebody's close to us, we can just do, for example, shoot the chaff, or a stun if we have them, or a magazine, throw around and then let go. And then we do basically Prozac Skip at this door. The advantage of that is, if you do Prozac Skip instead of the punch, kick, is that even if the guard is close to you, you do not lean towards that one and then mess up the trick. So with Prozac Skip, you will always go through the door, no matter if there's a guard close or not. You can be interrupted by being shot still, but you don't have the issue of basically an auto-aim type turning towards the next enemy, which interrupts the setup with the punch, kick. Usually, if you do it first try, and after a while, you will be fine. You go all the way to the end of the door, you kill these last 2 guards that are on the right of that door, lean against it, punch, kick, let go of the right timing, which is as you turn around, and you always go for the door. There's no chance to it. It's super easy to do. The Prozac Skip is basically just a backup. But this was the thing that we did before we did Prozac Skip even. Before we knew about extending your hitboxes by throwing an item. Thanks to Raiden's way of doing punch punch kick, he sends his hitbox through the door by just turning around doing his kick animation and then let go of first person, we can touch the load zone. And if you were to ask me what is the first glitch I should introduce to go from glitches to 80%, that's the one. Super easy to do, very high time save for an absolutely super low risk. From the difficulty F tier, from the worth it factor S tier. Absolutely. And yeah, we're going basically here towards Tengu 2, and the funny thing is that I'm gonna do nothing different here. Tengu 2, Race, and of course Solidus, glitchless are all done the same. There's no difference. It would get interesting if we were to do normal or high difficulty glitchless Tengu 2, because normally on normal and onwards we would do something called cooldown skip. But we're on very easy and even on easy difficulty, Tengu 2, there is no glitch version that's faster. So the glitchless version of Tengu 2 is already the fastest version, so you don't need to do anything different. Same thing with Race, like what we do already doesn't even require a glitch. It's just, shooting these 2 rays initially in the mouth and the third one on the knee and then the mouth. So basically that's the end already of the pro guide with glitches. The last glitch is the easiest one to do, and it was also the last glitch that we actually need to do in this run, because everything else from here on is again glitchless. So
creating the perfect assassin to retire.
Thanks for watching. There is also not much more I can give you insight into, because like my beginner's guide taught you everything around how to do Solidus quickly, and I think the only thing that I could show in Solidus is when in second phase he dashes you where you don't block but actually run away from him. So let's do that. But Tengu 2 again, same as the beginner's guide, stand in right position, shoot at the door frame and just hope that Snake takes out the rest of the guys. And that nobody slips past you. And Race is also the same. nothing advanced I can show you there, because there is nothing else. There is, however, an IL version of Race, but even I don't know how to do it. And I mean, I got one-on-ones without that IL Race, so I'm gonna leave it to you people out there in the audience to watch Platonic Guy do it and then adapt it. But I think it really is not the time save people need to learn. It just isn't. People should just be getting comfortable to skipping the cutscene, switching to the stinger from previous instead of menuing there, and then shooting the guy in the knee. Alright. And then getting rid of the third ray. Nothing else to it.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
Like even on higher difficulties where we have to do the so-called ray loop, there's nothing there that we can glitch. There's no god mode in Metal Gear Solid 2, so far at least, as we know. And so Race is literally just play clean. Glitches as it comes. Same for very easy.
My son.
Oh yeah, it's triangle. I was pressing the X and circle. Oh yeah, we're a skip cutscene, right? No, it's triangle. Ah, here we go. Maybe one last thing. If you're playing with turbo on, what you want to do is you want to ideally, especially when there are many portraits switching during these codecs, you want to actually do the fast forward version, not just the X and circle version. You want to like tap square or tap triangle to get fast forward, because for every portrait that changes, you can save 1 frame. And especially the last few codecs here, the AI codecs, there's lots of portrait switches. So each time you save like 1 frame if you have fast forward active. All right, and here is Solidus. I'm just gonna slap him 1, 2, 3. As that is the same as my beginner's guide, Cartwheel 1, 2, 3. There is something on higher difficulties, of course, that we can do, which is the loop. That would be way more interesting to talk about, but for very easy, there is nothing else we can do. Except for one thing in phase 2. that I haven't talked about in my beginner's guide. And that is that we basically run away from Solidus as he tries to attack us. That's like the last thing we can do to squeeze out a little bit more time. Because no matter what he does, if he does the elbow or not, if you just walk away from him, the complete opposite direction of the way we would go. See, like, even if he doesn't give us the elbow, if he would slash, because we walk away from it and around him, that's we can still yeet him. But that's like the only thing. It only mitigates that if you don't get the elbow, you can still attack him a bit quicker. And check out the description again for other videos, other tutorials that are very important as well, that maybe are a little bit more detailed than this video. So before we leave, one last thing. If you look back at this advanced video, what are the things that people should look at if they want to upgrade from glitchless to any %, or even if they just want to start with any %? I think the final thing that we did was the Tengu 1 skip. I think that is the easiest one people can learn and should do basically right away. Because actually doing the fight normal without the glitch takes like way longer, and it's super easy to do. So it's a quick time save, it's a big time save. Tengu 1 skip is the first thing people should check out if they want to do an any % run and upgrade basically their PB after they learn everything glitchless. I think the second thing is Prozac Skip, one of the newer ones. It saves you 30 seconds ideally, which is a big time save. As I learned today, it's actually relatively easy to execute if you take your time, and you can execute it fast and faster as you get more confident with it. Back when I learned it, from watching videos, I felt like you have to really rush it, but apparently you don't even need to rush it anymore, so that's fun. So Prozac Skip, I think, especially after today, really upgraded to be a relatively easy trick, especially on very easy, where we have 7 magazines. And it's a huge time save, so Tengu 1 skip, Prozac skip. The next thing that people should probably take a look at, that really depends. Like, I wanna advocate for the counterclockwise route for bomb defusal with the conveyor belt glitch, because the conveyor belt glitch is not difficult. It gets a bit finicky maybe, and can sometimes go wrong, but that comes also, of course, with the caveat that you have to do counterclockwise instead of clockwise after you did clockwise on glitchless, updating to any %. It maybe needs some rewiring of your brain. It takes some time to get used to. And maybe if you switch from clockwise to counterclockwise with the glitch, you will also lose some time as if you were just doing clockwise. But my personal take is that, especially going for high difficulties in any %, like easy and normal, counterclockwise gets actually very strong and much easier as well. And I think after you did already Tengu 1 skip and Prozac skip, I think the counterclockwise version is a great alternative to update your strategy compared to the glitchless clockwise rotation of the bomb defusal. And I think only then I would put the ladder glitch in tanker. Now, if people historically usually just do many tanker runs, right? And so they mostly focus only on doing tanker and then put plant on top. So of course, ladder glitch can be way higher if you only do tanker, because then it's Prozac skip and ladder glitch. Right, easy. And there are definitely easy ways to execute a ladder glitch. Again, there's more detailed videos also in the links in the description down below if you want to learn that. So ladder glitch, sure, can be even higher than focusing on counterclockwise. But in the overall overview, maybe I would first practice the counterclockwise version and then ladder glitch. Because ladder glitch isn't a huge time save, but it can be definitely be relatively easy done. Now, it only leaves us really with some stuff with Emma. Emma Bump, if your version can do it, which is the PS2 version, the original Xbox version, and the PC Substance version, sure, do Emma Bump. It's free. Totally. But it's also like such a small time save, like, you know, it's like a mini thing. The Emma Zips, however, I mean, if you're not playing PC Substance version, we don't know right now if this can be even done on any other version other than PC Substance. We don't know if it can be done on PC Master Collection yet. That needs to be verified. Maybe there will be a note in the description later. But 𝐿𝐭𝐲 is basically all the way at the bottom. You should do everything else first before you do 𝐿𝐭𝐲. Oh yeah, I also forgot swim glitch. Swim glitch is basically the second to last thing that I personally would recommend somebody learn. Because this is like a big hurdle to swim glitch, I think. There's a big hurdle to swim glitch. It's definitely easier on turbo than without turbo. If you do it without turbo, I would definitely say like, don't even bother with it. If you have access to turbo inputs, which are allowed for Metal Gear Solid 2, swim glitch gets a little bit easier. And it's just above 𝐿𝐭𝐲. Like it's underneath all the other tricks. I would technically not even go for swim glitch unless I was going for, well, to give it a context, Metal Gear Solid 2 highest times, the world record is a 1:00. They may have a few 1:01s, 1 hour, 1 minute runs, and then just a couple of 1:02s followed by that. Like I think the whole top 10 is just 1:01s, 1:02s mainly. And then if you get after that, the top 20s are like 1:03s. So if you want to breach into the, if you got a 1:05, 1 hour, 5 minute time, you want to squeeze out the rest. Of course, you still got to work on your execution on the bosses. I would do something that's not a glitch, technically, but that's super advanced, still non-lethal Fatman version. I would do that probably also very late, like if I was going for 1:02s. And the swim glitch is relatively the same. If you want to upgrade from 1:05s towards 1:03s, I think that's where swim glitches start make sense to implement. Again, very big hurdle in the beginning, trying to understand what you need to do with timing. But if you have turbo input accessible, it definitely gets easier, and then it gets also worth it. Thanks for the follow. So yeah, let's go for the list again. The simplest thing is Tengu 1 skip, totally worth it. And then Prozac skip, totally worth it. Then counterclockwise, bomb diffusal rotation, ladder glitch, swim glitch, and then the 𝐿𝐭𝐲, which you can only do in one version right now, so it's a little bit, you know, excused out of the whole list. Because if you do an HD, you cannot even do 𝐿𝐭𝐲, so. Then swim glitch is the only thing you need to add, and even then I would still say, like, unless you're going for really high times, so really low times on HD, I don't think swim glitch is really that much worth it yet. You can do everything else, all the executions on the bosses, your movement especially, like your movement is such a big factor in this game. Before I would recommend somebody learning swim glitch, I would rather recommend to them doing some VR levels, like sneaking 7 in 𝐿𝐭𝐲 Tuxedo. That's a great VR level to polish up your movement. And that will over time, the better your movement is, will save you so much time in the speedrun compared to just learning one trick. So yeah, but basically from the order, there's even polishing your movement above learning swim glitch. But yeah, I think that's basically all I can say about, you know, adding tricks and glitches to the glitchless run to, you know, make an even faster 80% run. I hope you learned a lot today. I hope I see many of you again on the leaderboards, updating your PBs. MGS2 is still, after all, MGS2 is a speedrun. The first big step, learning where to go, learning the boss fights. You don't need to worry about any of the glitches, as long as you don't know where to go, as long as you don't know how to do the boss fights. Those are the two fundamentals you need to learn in the beginning. It's quite easy to get to that, but unless you do that, I wouldn't even worry about any of the glitches. Except for maybe Tengu 1, like that's a very easy glitch. And totally worth it. Alright, as the credits stop, I guess my ramble stops as well. Thank you everyone for watching if you watch this on YouTube. If you're watching this live on Twitch, thank you as well. It was a pleasure to teach you all today. And I'm gonna go in my basement now and gotta edit everything together. Oh lord, it's so much editing. Thank you everyone for watching. Oh, really good time, and I'll see you all in another stream another time.